May as well get this out of the way. Oh my god, it's Captain America! Jesus. After Spider-Man and Iron Man, Captain America is arguably the most recognisable and popular character in the Marvel canon. However, like most other Marvel heroes, he never had the best luck in terms of movies before appearing in the MCU. His first big screen outing came in 1990 when this abomination was shot into our lives. A film when the national hero quite literally steals a car and runs away.
Excuse me?
The test screenings were so poor that the movie ended up going straight to video and was universally panned by anyone who bothered to see it. I'm sure they were both very disappointed.
I don't think so.
Development on a second adaptation wouldn't resume until 1997, when Marvel entered negotiations with Mark Gordon and Gary Levinson to produce a screenplay, and in 2000, Artisan Entertainment agreed to help with financing. However, a lawsuit between Marvel and Captain America co-creator Joe Simon delayed the development process, though this was eventually settled in 2003. Eventually, 2 years later, Paramount Pictures finally agreed to help distribute 5 theatrical features with Marvel, including this one. However, this ended up being the last MCU film to be produced under Paramount, as the rights to the franchise were eventually optioned by Disney as part of their multi-step plan to take over the entire world.
He's making me cry.
According to producer Kevin Feige, the original plan for the film was to have half of it set during World War II and the other half set in modern day, citing the Back to the Future trilogy as an influence. However, this idea was soon ditched, and the writers fully committed to making the film a period piece set in the 1940s. The director's chair was originally offered to both Jon Favreau and Louis Leterrier, both of whom turned it down in favour of directing Iron Man and The Incredible Hulk respectively. Eventually, Jurassic Park 3 director Joe Johnston was offered the job based on his Oscar-winning work as a visual effects artist on the original Star Wars trilogy in Raiders of the Lost Ark. When casting the titular character, a long list of actors auditioned, including Garrett Hedlund, Channing Tatum, Scott Porter, Mike Vogel, Wilson Bethel, John Krasinski, Chad Michael Murray, Michael Cassidy, Chase Crawford, Derek Theller, and Jensen Ackles, before eventually landing on Chris Evans from the cinematic masterpiece Not Another Teen Movie.
Masterpiece.
Unlike many of his Marvel co-stars, Evans was offered the role without having to audition, as the producers were desperate to cast him, feeling that he was perfect for the part. Similarly, Hugo Weaving was offered the part of Red Skull on the spot, as the producers felt he would nail the villainous role based on his performance in the Matrix series. Furthermore, Sebastian Stan originally auditioned for Cap as well, and though he was rejected, the filmmakers liked his audition enough to give him the role of Bucky Barnes. Who the fuck names their kid Bucky?
Hey, you wanna shut up?
And Tommy Lee Jones is in there too, because I don't know, it's Tommy Lee Jones. Are you gonna tell him no?
I'm gonna wipe that fucking scalp off the face of the fucking earth. This is the last fucking thing I do.
Actually, yeah, I think I would.
And these are your only 2 options.
Filming ran from June 2010 until November that year, though post-production went on for nearly 5 months, due to the need to make Chris Evans look short and skinny in the first act using digital effects. And yeah, they really don't look great. I mean, they don't look too bad when he wears a damn shirt, but most of the time it looks terrible, it's so obviously fake. The film was released in July 2011, grossing $370 million worldwide. And like his predecessors, it was well liked by both critics and longtime fans, who praised Evans' lead performance, as well as the action scenes and vintage production design. Hugo Weaving is a great villain. He's just so naturally a cool badass.
You will burn! I already have.
Look at this guy, would you ever fuck with him? Although he uses Odin's treasure to gain more power, and for some reason Thor and Odin don't discover this for another 7 decades or so. I guess he used Internet Explorer.
We got it.
The foreshadowing isn't the most subtle, but hey, it does its job and it works, it's fine. It also turns out that Tony Stark's dad Howard is actually the one who comes up with the invention to turn Steve Rogers into an MMA fighter, which is just weird considering Tony is 30 odd in his movie. Howard here must be in his 20s, so man was still popping out kids into his 50s.
Figured I'd wait.
Also, maybe it's just me, but what the hell are the chances of Steve being turned into a god by a guy who just by chance in 70 years time, that guy's son will just so happen to team up with him as superheroes?
You have never seen this, have you?
He is a decent character. He wants to enlist in the army to help his country, but doesn't actually want to kill anyone. Well, that lasted long. Naturally, they have the cliche of the hero messing up all the training because apparently skinny people can't be strong or competent. In fact, this movie has a real big problem with skinny people.
Jesus. Somebody get that kid a sandwich.
But this is where the education system is lacking. They forgot to teach us that we actually won the war because some American soldier took some drugs to become all beefed up. So kids, today we're going to watch a documentary on World War II. So everyone pay attention, this is exactly how it went down.
Tomorrow, Hydra will stand master of the world.
Bit messed up that they do it without prior testing though. Although he refuses to let them stop it and decides to power through the pain.
Because the strong man, who has known power all his life, will lose respect for that power. But a weak man knows the value of strength and knows compassion.
Pussy. It has quite a lot of funny moments. Everyone's struggling to collect this flag, so he just loosens the pole. And the movie does an excellent job depicting what George Lucas is like on a date.
I guess I just don't know why you'd want to join the army if you were a beautiful dame. Or a woman. An agent, not a dame. You are beautiful, but...
You have no idea how to talk to a woman, do you?
But my god, for all the comedy it has, it does have some cringe as well.
Each one you buy is a bullet in the barrel of your best guy's gun.
They turned Hitler into a fucking pantomime! Everyone runs away from this dummy grenade and Steve throws himself on it instead, which is a great heroic moment. And Tommy Lee Jones' reaction is hilarious.
He's still skinny.
He's pretty much just the generic soldier guy who wants to win but doesn't give a shit how many lives he loses in the process, while Steve just wants to do what's right. It is pretty funny how she sees his new body for the first time and has about 13 orgasms immediately. The effects are pretty solid at first, him showing what he can do, but then some other shots just look like a bad PS1 video game. But Jesus Christ, how many bullets does this guy have? Oh, never mind.
You are not enough.
He's not enough, motherfucker! Did you just see what he can do? What else do you need? The cinematography all looks great, the effects and production are terrific, and Chris Evans is a pretty solid lead. Him suiting up looks great, and the shield looks awesome! The action is always intense. Honestly, I can't fault that one bit. But, I mean, he has a best friend, so naturally, obvious best friend's death is obvious. The final showdown is sick, and the dialogue is really well written.
I have seen the future, Captain. No flags. Not my future.
Naturally, Hero wants to sacrifice himself because Hero, and admittedly, it is quite emotional.
Steve? Steve?
Yeah, I think he's dead, love. And then after being frozen and waking up 70 years in the future, seeing all of this technology, all of these skyscrapers and lights, and his motherfucking reaction is...
I had a date.
No! I don't care if she had an ass like Beyonce, you would not react like that, you're in the future! The movie is pretty good. I don't think it's as good as some of the other installments, but it's still a lot of fun. The hero is easy to root for, the villain is certainly evil, the side characters are entertaining, the love story is decent, and the action is tremendous. It's a worthy entry into the saga, just not one of the best. Get pet rats, she said. It'd be fun, she said.